guys? So Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is once again directed by James Gunn and stars Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Brad Cooper, Vin Diesel, Batista, and Kurt Russell. Now, I'll be honest, I enjoy the first Guardians of the Galaxy, but I didn't love it to death like some people did. I think that's partially due to the fact that when the first one was getting all its buzz, it got really overhyped, and so when I went into it, I was like, okay, I'm expecting this to be amazing. And I was let down a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I still think it's a great movie, but I just don't love it as much as everyone else. But, you know, I'm still a typical MCU fan, so I'm gonna go see this, and it looked funny from the trailers, so I was excited. And I'll start off by saying this. I actually enjoyed it as much as I did the first one. However, I will say I think the first one is a slightly better film. And don't worry, guys, there's gonna be no spoilers in this review, so you can watch it, and I will not give anything away, I promise. So in this movie, it picks up after the events of the first one, obviously, so they are the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're being hired to do certain things and jobs to save the galaxy and whatnot. And one thing leads to another, they end up running into Star-Lord's dad. And at the same time, Yondu, the guy who had brought up Chris Pratt's character in the first one, he's after them, but also kind of wanting to join them. There's some conflict there. And overall, it's a really fun movie. So starting off with what I really liked about the movie, obviously the cast. Chris Pratt is obviously one of the big stars in Hollywood right now. He's just as good as he was in the first one. Zoe Saldana, she is a great actress. She's sexy. She's good at what she does. Batista, his drags is very funny, and the banter he has with the new character Mantis is really clever and hilarious. My favorite of all is Rocket Raccoon. He is very funny. A little more of a jerk in this one than he was in the last one, but they kind of play on that a little for a specific reason, so I was okay with that. And little baby Groot, and he's adorable. Some people might think it's overtly cutesy, but I thought it worked, and I thought it was just hilarious. Also, newcomer Kurt Russell as Star-Lord's dad. I thought he played his role well. He has a very interesting background, and I won't get into any spoilers here, so don't worry, but I thought he played his part very well for what he was trying to do. And he and Chris Pratt worked really well together. Another thing I appreciated about this movie is that, you know, sometimes what sequels do, sequels can do a lot of things. They can be the exact same thing as the original. I really appreciated that they actually tried something new. I mean, you know, they could have played it entirely safe, and in some ways they did, of going a similar route to the first one in terms of the slapstick, funny, over-the-top action and soundtrack, which is awesome, by the way. But they actually attempt to have this new, original-ish story among the characters. Honestly, in the middle, it almost turns into sort of a family drama type thing. And that works for the most part. I'll get more into that with some of the caveats I had with the movie. But yeah, I was pleased to see they were trying something new and original with the story for the most part. And this next point, it's a positive and sort of a caveat at the same time. Visually, these movies are pretty amazing to look at. I mean, it's over the top and colorful and crazy, and some of the characters in these films, that James Gunn just makes them look crazy and insane, but you know, it's funny, and you know, you just kind of go with it, and it works for the most part. I will say there were a couple points where I thought some of the CGI looked a little cartoony. I think it kind of worked for the most part because there's already so much colorful CGI stuff to look at, so it kind of works. But there were one or two spots where I was like, that could have been maybe cleaned up a little bit, I don't know. One thing with the CGI, and once again, no spoilers, but there is a certain scene where they make Kurt Russell look a lot younger, and I think it's some of the best they've ever done. I mean, in the past, you know, they've tried to do that with different characters to make them look like their younger selves, and it hasn't always worked as much, but I was watching this really closely to see like how well, and I thought they pulled that off really well. And my other caveat with the film, I think the pacing could have been a little better in this movie. Like, first of all, as I said, in the middle, there's actually not a ton of action going on. It's a lot of character stuff and drama between, you know, family and friends. And I like that, and I think it works for the most part, but it does, I want to say, drag a little bit in the middle, and you don't really know where it's going at the time, so that didn't always work, but, you know, I can get past that, I guess. And this is just my personal opinion. Some people might not feel this way at all. I did feel there were some gags or jokes or moments that went on a little too long. For instance, in the opening credits, you know, when they're fighting the big octopus monster thing, you start to see it focuses mainly on Baby Groot dancing, and that was really funny. I was laughing a lot. But then it just kept going on and on and on and on and on. And yeah, I know it's the opening credits, so it kind of works, but I don't know. I kind of went from being, this is great. Alright, they can move on now, I guess. I don't know, that was just a personal thing, and there were a couple other moments throughout the film that I felt that kind of happened. I also felt they were a little more unrealistic with the action in this one. I'd take that with a grain of salt, please. I just mean that in the sense, I feel like there were certain action sequences where the main characters were getting kicked around and blasted and thrown and just all kinds of stuff. And yeah, I know they're aliens and they have, like, you know, maybe different DNA, you could argue that. But it did seem like they were getting off without any scratches, really. I was like, nothing's happening to you? You're just, okay, alright, fine. So in the end, guys, this is not by any means my favorite MCU movie. I mean, it's no Captain America, Civil War, Winter Soldier, or Avengers. But if you enjoy the MCU films, if you enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy, I see absolutely no reason at all why you wouldn't sincerely enjoy this movie. And I'm going to give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 a B. Guys, thank you so much for watching as usual. You can look forward to my Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales and Alien Covenant review coming sometime in the next couple weeks when that comes out. Also, I've been doing series on the Alien and Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, so if you want to check those out on my channel, please do. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please click on any of my other videos on my channel right now. But you know what you should do? You should click here to subscribe to my channel so you get updates for when I actually put out the new videos. And if you want to comment below and let me know what you think, please do. I always love hearing from you guys and knowing what your thoughts are on the matter.